This is an SWX local sports presentation. Live from McCarthy Athletic Center, the Gonzaga Bulldogs take on the Lewis Clark State Warriors. SWX College Basketball starts right now.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the McCarthy Athletic Center. Hard to believe, but here we go. It's the start of another college basketball season. The Zags begin the year ranked number 11 in the nation. They welcome in Lewis Clark State, the Warriors, out of the Cascade Collegiate Conference. Just an exhibition matchup tonight, but you cannot tell the fans that, can you? They are in mid-season form, and why not? They're Zags about to get it going again. Great to see everyone again. Greg Heister, Dan Dickow, and Dan, 8 straight years now to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8 a year ago, and the expectations, once again, very high.
They're extremely high, and this program is elite. You mentioned the 8 straight Sweet 16, but 5 of the last 8 years, they're in that Elite 8, 2 Final Fours. This team's a little different, a little unique. Yeah. There's a lot of newcomers that have to get up to speed, but the potential is enormous.
And the players that came back, Anton Watson stays home for another season, Nolan Hickman, and of course Ben Gregg. It's a good nucleus to begin.
A great trio with a lot of experience and dynamic versatility. The big face missing though, Drew Timme will be talked about a lot, but they've got a lot of newcomers to fill that void.
Yeah, talk about the newcomers. They're talented, a lot of length, they can shoot the ball, and of course Ryan Nembhard has all kinds of world-class experience.
Well, in the world of college basketball, you got to fill voids quickly, and Coach Few and staff did a great job. They got a tremendous point guard in Ryan Nembhard from Creighton, a shooter in Steele Venters from Eastern Washington, but Graham Ike averaged similar numbers as to what Drew Timme did a season ago. He's going to have a lot of opportunity to be a big man on the interior for Gonzaga.
There's Graham right there. He's already got the game face on, ladies and gentlemen. 6'8", 240. The guy can play. Here we go. It's the start of another college basketball season. The Zags begin ranked number 11. We'll get you tonight's starting lineup and the tip-off next. Lewis Clark State at Gonzaga. Funny answers for people who know Gonzaga does, in fact, exist. Please show your Bulldog pride with your Zags debit card offered only at Numerica, federally insured by NCUA. Nembhard, Hickman, Venters, Ike, and Watson. Look at that lineup. It's new, it's exciting, it's fresh, and I can't wait to watch it.
And tons of experience. Nembhard from Creighton, 30-point game in the Sweet 16 a year ago against Baylor. Hickman started. Venters, the Big Sky Player of the Year. Ike didn't play a season ago, but 2 years ago averaged nearly 20 and 10 at Wyoming. Yeah. And I don't think we need to say much about Anton Watson and all the intangibles that he brings.
Here's tonight's keys to the game, brought to you by Northern Quest Resort and Casino.
Acclimatize. Get used to this environment again, especially for the new guys. And then the second one is take care of the basketball. Lots of new faces, learning a system, understanding where their opportunities are going to come. Sometimes that can lead to some struggles with spacing and communication. Let's hope that Gonzaga does a great job taking care of the ball early, not just tonight, but early in this season.
Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. And we're underway. Gonzaga ball first. Ike with the first dunk of the season.
So hard to guard. Hickman on the second side with a pick and roll, and then you've got a shooter like Venters lifting, put the defense in a bind. Easy two-hand finish for Ike.
2 years ago at Wyoming, Ike hit 51% of his shots. Many of them were from that distance. There's a step-back jump shot off from Davian Brown. Scored nearly 15 a game a year ago. Here's Hickman. Transition 3. Dan looks good. Short, though. And the rebound cleared by Grayson Hunt. Hickman, it's important for him to get off quickly, isn't it, this year, confidence-wise?
I think so. As a freshman, he had the ability to learn under Andrew Nembhard a season ago. He was really the only point guard on the roster. This year he's got the ability to share those duties and those roles with Ryan Nembhard.
Jadon Bradley off from 3. Here's Nembhard again to the post. This time Anton Watson's got the size advantage. Backs in, spins. Kind of tied up, regains the dribble. He's got plenty of time, and now he'll back it out. Now watch it, he can shoot the 3. Anton spins, again off balance. Tied up there and fouled by Jadon Bradley. Anton looks leaned out, doesn't he? Different looking body this year.
He looks to be in shape. Tested the waters a season ago as the NCAA rules allow you to go to some NBA workouts, get feedback from teams. He actually participated in the G League Combine where physical testing, skills, as well as some scrimmaging. Didn't play as well or test out physically as well as he wanted. Came back, as you mentioned, looks to be in great shape.
55% free throw shooter a year ago. Former 4-star player coming out of Spokane's Gonzaga prep. And it's 4-0 Gonzaga.
Right away into that 1-2-3/4 court press that Anton Watson is so special of at the top.
Bakari Morris into the corner. Brown with a drive, lost the grip. Nembhard with it in transition. Here's Hickman, shot the 3 from there a moment ago. Nembhard into the lane, at the elbow. The lob, EK finish. Going to see a lot of that.
Oh, just the probe of the dribble by Nembhard and EK understanding. Defense is on their top side. Just hold the seal. A good point guard's going to find you.
That rimmed out. Watson clears it. I tell you, I was at practice the other day. They were so impressive in transition. The Zags were EK will shoot free throws. But I tell you, with Nembhard with the ball in his hands, running the middle of the floor, you got Hickman on a wing. You got both those ball handlers now on the floor. The advantage of that is what?
Well, Coach Few's best teams have always had 2 primary ball handler point guards. You can go all the way back to that initial Elite 8 team with Matt Santangelo, Quentin Hall, the Final Four team with Nigel Williams-Goss and Josh Perkins. 2 ball handlers put so much pressure on the defense. If they jam one player getting the outlet, simply the other guy brings it up and can initiate offense. Now it also, with the way Gonzaga runs a lot of continuity ball screen offense, you're getting a great decision maker with the ball on the second side of the floor where the defense has to rotate. Many times they're late.
EK hits both free throws, a 72% shooter at Wyoming. So pretty good. And he's wearing number 13. He better have a big year when you consider who's worn that jersey in the past, and Santangelo and Olenek, 2 of the greats in program history. Grayson Hunt blocked by EK, had no chance. Nembhard with his head up. Venters into the corner. Hickman from 3. A little long. Venters and EK battle for the rebound. And Venters, I think, clipped that end line. So it'll be Warriors basketball.
Well, EK is not a tremendous vertical athlete, but he does a great job of staying in front of his man, using his length to come up with the block shot there.
He's strong. He's going to remind me, I think, a lot of J.P. Batista. You're just not going to be able to move him. Well, he's not going to dunk a lot. We saw one dunk, but he's not, as you said, doesn't play well above the rim. Well, but he's strong, Dan.
The strength factor you mentioned for a Gonzaga player, J.P. Batista, comes to mind. A pro comp would be Zach Randolph, who played in the NBA for 15, 16 years. Lefty, kind of likes to play on the ground, good with the fadeaway game. Tremendous player is Graham EK.
Lustig taken away by Hickman, got it to Nembhard. Backdoor cut, Venters to the rim, and he flushes it down. Nembhard with his second assist. Venters running that baseline, and Steele knew what to do with it. Great cut, better finish through contact. Zags up big early. 3 of 5 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the line. Lewis Clark State 0 for 4. This team has led college basketball in points per game the last 5 years. Are they going to do it again?
I don't see any reason why they won't. I mean, Coach Few wants to play fast. He recruits a roster of guys that are skilled and can excel in that style. And if you just look at the first 4 minutes and then the opportunity that we've had to be at practice earlier in this non-conference preseason slate of early in the year, I mean, this team has a lot of weapons on the offensive end.
And what I'm watching for already, Dan, is the chemistry, right? And what we've seen so far in transition, this team looks like it's already in midseason form. Ball's moving, players are in position, ball goes in the rim.
Well, you see a willingness to make quick decisions. So many times players hold it for a split second too long. That hasn't been the case. Granted, we're 4 minutes in to a season, but they're playing the right way.
Yeah, get excited, Zagville. I don't care. We're 4 minutes in, but get excited. This team is good.
Yes.
This team is good. And here comes Dusty Stromer and Ben Gregg. Venters and Ike out. So Ben Gregg, we know Ben Gregg, been in the program now for a few years, but Dusty Stromer, a four-star guy that I know Coach Few's pretty excited about.
He's a great player out of the Los Angeles area, a good shooter. He'll surprise you with the ability to put the ball on the floor a little bit. Good length. He is going to be a good player in time. He should play a lot of minutes as a freshman.
Here's the lob to Ben Gregg, the catch. He is stripped under there by John Lustig, a sophomore from Colfax, Washington. Colfax is in the house.
I know that both of us last year coming back from Pullman got speeding tickets in Colfax, so anybody in Eastern Washington knows Colfax well.
And all I do is like sing the props of Colfax, and you know, those lights still end up in the mirror.
Come on, Whitman County
Not
Sheriff's
the worst
Office.
feeling in the world. Little pressure again here by Gonzaga. Anton almost got a hand on that. Nemhart shuts down the ball. Lustig inside the bounce. Ben Gregg, good defense, but what a finish there by Elton Hamilton. And Anton Watson at the other end missed the layup. Got it back though. Spin by Anton right to the rim, falls off again. And a foul called. And that'll go against Gonzaga's Ben Gregg. That is his first. Team's first. Stromer with the kick.
So many people like to play the comparison game for athletes, regardless of sport. Stromer reminds me a lot of Corey Kispert or Richie Fromm, two terrific players at the wing position that have come through this program that can shoot it a little bit but will surprise you athletically.
I know he had a big matchup last year in high school against Bronny James. That was all over Twitter.
We'll have a chance to have a rematch. Gonzaga plays against USC in Las Vegas on December 2nd. That should be a heck of a game. Andy Enfield does a really good job down there, but Bronny James is not determined if he'll be back playing games just yet at that point of the season after his medical scare this offseason.
Austin Johnson there in his 6th season as the head coach of Lewis Clark State. Here comes Hickman. Nolan into the lane, hangs and hits. Nolan Hickman, his first field goal. I think he's going to have a big year. I think he's going to be one of those guys, Dan, that you look back on and say, see, he hung in there. He didn't run. He stayed and earned his spot and earned his time in history in Gonzaga basketball. Nemhart, boy, he's explosive. Here's Huff, the big man from downtown. Braden, a redshirt freshman, 6'10", 242, out of Glen Ellen, Illinois, former Mr. Basketball of Illinois.
That's the luxury Gonzaga has. You bring a player of the year from their state in a season ago behind Drew Timme. He decides to redshirt, can use it as a developmental year. He's got a high IQ. He's improved athletically. I think the future is really bright for him.
And Zach and Dan, you've got to love the fact that Gonzaga has a four-man rotation at the bigs. They've got a lot of guys at the 2 and 3. They got Hickman and Nemhart at the point guard that can handle the ball. Like, this team is deep. It's got options.
this team does have options, and it's going to be interesting to see how Coach Few trims down the rotation and kind of doles out minutes. You know, it's one of the fun things for fans to do is kind of pick and choose what they would like to see. Coach Few's got some tough decisions, I'm sure, ahead of him.
And Venters has it taken away by Davian Brown, and then Venters picks up the frustration foul on the reach.
And if there's one flaw in Venters' game as he transfers over as the Big Sky Player of the Year is the ability to put the ball on the deck with pressure. He's a tremendous shooter. He can elevate with a high pocket, shoot over the top of guys, but at times, handling pressure can be a challenge.
Just a junior. He's got another year after this for Gonzaga. But 6'7", 195-pounder out of Ellensburg, Washington is Venters. And big shot there from the corner by number 2, Davion Brown.
Great pass from Sam Stockton, the son of Gonzaga legend. John gets in the middle of the paint, makes the correct read.
Ben Gregg off the gift for Ryan Nemhard.
You called it a gift. That's exactly right.
Yes.
Serve that up on a platter.
That was beautiful. It's no surprise that Coach Few wanted Ryan Nemhard badly. And when you watch him play, Dan, like he's cut out of the cloth, right? Like he's an extension of the bench, extension of the philosophy, and he's just got great instinct.
Skilled, high IQ. He understands the culture with his older brother Andrew, having played for Coach Few and making it to a Final Four. So he understands what's expected of him at this position at Gonzaga.
Ben Gregg lost the grip. And I think they called an offensive foul on Ben.
After that initial 10-0 run for Gonzaga, LC State's done a nice job getting into offense. A lot of that's correlated with Sam Stockton and John Lustig being back in the game. Two guys who grow up in Eastern Washington. You know this game's important to them.
Lustig now 0 for 3 for LC State. Here's Huff. Stromer pass was a bit behind him. Couldn't reel it in. Turnover number 4 for Gonzaga, but they lead at 14-7. We're almost midway through this first half in Spokane. Back in a moment. Hey, this is one of my favorite parts of every game, the Arby's fan trivia question. When was the last time the Zags played Lewis Clark State in a non-exhibition game? Was it 2012-13, 15-16, or 08-09? Text your answer to 83200. It's brought to you by Arby's, your delicious neighborhood meat crafter. Stop by Arby's today. Arby's, we have the meats.
Well, that's a stumper for me because they did play Lewis Clark State a couple years back,
yeah.
but
that was an exhibition game.
A
game that counted.
Wow. Well, you've been calling these games for about 30 years, so you would know.
Was that your first old joke of the season?
Well, you are old, Greg. I mean.
Oh, my word. Oh, my word. All right, there's Mr. Stockton. Boy, there's a deep three. It's off the back by Davion Brown. There's Stromer. Huff looking to go high-low. Ike posting up. Venters trying to get it in there. There's Graham. He'll back in now. The spin to the baseline. Left hand falls off. Huff, the offensive rebound. And the putback is good.
Some guys just have a knack for scoring. And that's what I see in Braden Huff.
Yeah, and, you know, we watched him in the scrimmage, and that, you know, scored like, I think, 18 points in that scrimmage, and that's how he did it. He was around the rim. He's got great hands, gets his hands on the ball all the time. Huff, a 4-star player out of high school, did not play last year. Venters, 3 off the line. Stromer offensive rebound, put back good. Stromer his first bucket.
Just understands how to play the game, does Dusty Stromer. Active on the offensive glass there. Keeps it high, quick putback.
There's a three on the way, up and true by number 13, Lorenzo Marsh, a junior from Long Beach, California.
This LC State team played a week or so ago at Arizona. They lost by 40, but Austin Johnson really liked what he saw from a lot of his guys. It's a proud program that's, as recently as 2 years ago, played in the national title game. Had a lot of injuries this season ago, so they didn't win as many games as normal, but they should challenge for a Cascade Conference title this year.
Stromer driving, scoop won't go. Zags now 7 of 16 from the floor. They're 0 for 4 from downtown. And the Warriors hit another one. That's Lorenzo Marsh. They're now 3 of 8 in the game, and it's 18-13. Don't be alarmed, Zagville. This happens a lot in these exhibition games early. Graham Ike backing down. Graham Ike, 8 points.
He just understands the physical game on the low block. Bump, bump, defense gets leaning one way and you spin away from that contact. Impressive.
Stromer, a little too aggressive there as he fouled Sam Stockton. What's the upside of Dusty Stromer, Dan? When he's done playing at Gonzaga, he's done what?
Well, again, I likened him earlier in the broadcast to like a Richie Fromm or a Corey Kispert. I think at this stage of his career,
so he
probably has a better ability to put the ball on the deck and create, but shooting-wise and size, they're almost exactly alike.
Davian Brown, little runner inside goes. Here's Nembhard back on the floor. Created some space. Watson battles for the rebound, and he's fouled. He'll go to the line. So you liken him to Richie and to Corey. Corey's in the NBA. Richie got there, should have been there longer. You think he's got that kind of upside?
I do.
Next level guy.
I do. He can shoot it. He's got a high pocket. He's got good size. You can tell he's going to fill out as he gets older. He understands how to play the game. And talking to some of the assistant coaches about off-season and preseason workouts, he was a sponge when they were talking about and teaching the little details of the game, the footwork, the spacing with which to give him opportunities in this offense. So I think he's going to be a quick study.
Anton Watson off to a good start from the free throw line, 4 of 4 tonight. Shot 55% last year. This team will be better at the free throw line this year than last year. That was one of their Achilles heels a year ago.
It was, and I think a lot of that had to do with Watson struggled at times at the line, but Timmy wasn't a good free throw shooter, and he got there a lot.
Steele Venters will get a rest. So right now you've got Nembhard, Stromer, and Hickman on the floor with Watson and Ike. It'll be interesting to watch these substitutions and what rotations Coach Few goes with. Which ones work? Which ones need work? Here's Nembhard. Hickman, deep three, back of the rim. Like the fact there was no hesitation.
Quick decision. Defense goes under a ball screen. That's an easy read as another three is knocked down, that time Davian Brown.
Yeah, they're now 4 of 9. Brown is at 2. It's 2 for 4. Zags have turned it over 4 times, almost the 5th one there. Nembhard left all alone. 3 is off. Stromer runs it down, earns another look. Ryan definitely fouled. Nope, foul before the shot. It was spectacular to watch. I think Ryan wanted it. The next level, he would have gotten it. Foul right there. No continuation at this level.
You got to count that one. Come on.
I agree. It's fan trivia question brought to you by Arby's. When was the last time the Zags played Lewis Clark State in a non-exhibition game? If you texted Zags 1, you were correct. 2012, 2013. They defeated LC State 104-57 on November 29th of 2012. That game counted. We probably called that game.
If my math serves me correctly, yeah, we did.
Yeah, that was probably like your first year in this chair.
I believe so. It's been a good run.
What does that mean? Are you done? Are you going somewhere? That sounded past tense to me. You can't give me Fox every game now, Dan. Come on. Love you, Richard. I know you're watching. Hickman, Ike wanting it back. Got it. Missed the shot. I think that's Graham's second miss. He's 3 of 5. He's a big dude, though. Big shoulders. Active defensively. Good defense there by Ike.
Yeah, great help as well from Stromer.
5 on the shot clock. Anthony Peoples Jr. calmly knocks down the jumper. He's got 2 buckets now, 4 points. It's 22-20. Didn't see this, Dan. Ike. Well, maybe he's more of a rim runner than I thought he was. That's his second dunk of the game.
Oh, he's such a physical player, but he understands when that initial contact comes. If they give resistance, spin, and give yourself an angle to the rim.
Spin inside, scoop won't go. Ike the rebound. And Nembhard left it short. Stromer, though, digs it out. That's a great rebound in transition. Anton. Stromer hangs, hits. That's where I see him really effective this year. That inside elbow, off the cut, curl, and hit.
We've talked about the ability to shoot it, but that right there can definitely earn him minutes. Just the ability to create something off of dribble handoff situations or pick and rolls.
Ike clears that miss. Bounce. Ike, what a move.
The luxury of having a point guard that can create something out of nothing in a pick and roll results in an easy 2 for Ike.
Look, Graham Ike came to Gonzaga, was signed, and really wanted to play here. Hickman in transition, lane goes. But he had to jump to the roof when he found out that Nembhard was coming. And that play a moment ago explains why.
Yeah, both of them were 2 of the more coveted transfers in the portal, and they both committed to Gonzaga on the same day, a couple hours apart. That had to have been a very happy coach's office that day.
I can't imagine. Boy, Nembhard can fly.
The happiness of that coach's office might have translated over to Jack and Dan's, I would imagine.
There's the combination again. Ike now with 14 points. He's 6 of 8. Young man did not play a year ago.
10-0 run for Gonzaga.
Foot injury at Wyoming kept him out of action. Nolan Hickman. Here's Anton. Squares up. Tipped out by Ike right to Anton. He'll drive and spin. Left that short. Transition 3. Ike runs down the loose rebound. Davian Brown not shy. That's his 6th attempt from behind the arc. Nembhard. Count it.
Well, when you push in transition as fast as he does, you put the defense in a bind, have to make a decision. They part ways going back to their initial assignments, and then the creativity to get to the rim where it seemed as if nothing was available.
They did not count the bucket. Ryan with 2 points, 2 rebounds, 5 assists. 1 turnover, 2 steals. Stromer, catch and shoot. He'll shoot free throws, though.
Well, I mentioned the similarity to Corey Kispert. That's a baseline out of bounds play that they ran almost exclusively for Kispert the last 2 years or so in Spokane.
They should call it Kispert.
They very well should.
Dusty was the 34th ranked player coming out of high school according to the Top 100 ESPN. Kind of cut out of the Zags cloth. Coach Few loves a guy that can put the ball in the bucket. And he's found himself another one. Stromer now with 5. And 4 rebounds. He'll shoot one more. Luka Krajinovic, number 3 on the floor for GU, another good-looking freshman from Croatia. Number 3. There's a 10-second call. And I'm telling you, when Krajinovic is on the floor, these sorts of things are going to happen. That guy is 100% effort. We saw that in the scrimmage. Good-looking young player. Zags up by 11. 4 minutes to go first half. Tonight's Smiles of the Game are brought to you by Delta Dental. We're on a mission to make Washington State 100% cavity-free. To learn more, visit cavityfreewa.com to see how we're making a difference in our community. Brought to you by Delta Dental of Washington, proud supporters of Healthy Smiles and your Gonzaga Bulldogs. I'm assuming what they mean is 100% new cavity-free.
I would
Because
imagine.
if you already have them.
I like how.
How many you got, Dan?
0.
Nice job. You were going to say something.
I wasn't. No.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I don't need to share my my dental history.
Your oral hygiene.
Yeah.
Krajinovic. Here's Ben Gregg. Steele Venters.
Good pass.
Yeah. Nice bucket. Braden Huff. There's another Stockton bouncing a ball at point guard. I was told his dad John back in the house tonight, but
He's not in his normal seat.
Yeah,
he
I don't
sits
see him up
behind
there.
the LC State bench.
oh, he is. Glad he's here. Zags up by 13. Venters. Krajinovic. Huff can shoot the 3. Tell you what, he's going to be dangerous, Dan. He's just a redshirt freshman, popping out, hitting that. Hello.
He's a difficult matchup for any big because, 1, he's lefty, 2, he can pick and pop and shoot it, but he's relentless on the offensive glass.
And a foul called on Nembhard as Stockton put a lot of pressure on him. Braden Huff, 6'10", 242. Think about this. He was Mr. Basketball in the state of Illinois. You do realize that the city of Chicago's in Illinois, right?
There's some great high school programs.
Yes.
Whitney Young, Simeon, who Zach Norvell, assistant coach now with Gonzaga, played at.
And there he is again. Off the block. Krajinovic. The slam at the other end. Crowd's back in it. And that is where Gonzaga is going to be electrifying. Run-outs, very good in transition. And there's the silencer by Lorenzo Marsh.
He's hit 2 threes now on the evening. Gonzaga's got to figure him out. Pick and pop guy.
Huff went back to the well. Stockton. Here's Marsh again. In front of Ben Gregg. Jump shot goes. Marsh wanting a foul. 41-28. Oh, I thought maybe he was going to shoot it again, Dan. Krajinovic. Off the catch and finish. He's got good hands. Holy smokes.
catches everything around him. He keeps it high, which is so very important for a big.
And they go in.
Well, that goes without saying that that's important.
Yes. Marsh, good move. Greg there defensively. Nemhard with his eyes up. Ryan into the lane. Now Ben Gregg, transition three, bingo.
But again, it's Ryan Nemhard pushing the action in transition, flattens the defense, and then it's simply just a pitch back to Ben Gregg, and it's a line it up straightaway three.
These Zags bigs are going to stretch defenses. Huff and Gregg can shoot the three. Marsh for three, that one's short. Krajinovic runs down the loose ball. Nemhard step back three, bang! Final 30 first half.
He'd been getting others involved. 8 assists in this first half. Yet to make a field goal. That was an easy read in transition.
Good defense by Huff and the block, and he grabbed it. Here's Nemhard. 5 to go, no look. Gregg lay in. I'm telling you, they're going to be electrifying at times in transition. That is really good, and really impressed with the hands of Braden Huff.
Gonzaga finishing on a 10-0 run. Last minute and 42 seconds. Number of guys got involved, but really it was Ryan Nemhard pushing the tempo, pushing the pace, making the correct decisions time and time again.
Yeah, Graham Ike led him at 14, but Braden Huff, Dan, 11 points, 5 rebounds in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes.
He's a player you don't have to run sets for. He just finds opportunities in the flow of the game, whether it's on the offensive glass or pick and pop. He always tends to gravitate to the basketball. Great first half all around for the Zags.
And knows how to outlet. You can see the offensive ingenuity in that big man. Great instincts. Nemhard always looking. Krajinovic the flush. Zags lead it at the half, 51-28. And the Gonzaga halftime report is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino. Join us at Coeur d'Alene Casino for a mouth-watering steak dinner, pampering spa treatment, or the hottest games around. Coeur d'Alene Casino, a proud sponsor of Gonzaga Athletics. Coeur d'Alene Casino, welcome home. And welcome back to halftime here in Spokane. Number 11, Gonzaga 51, Lewis Clark State 28. Greg Heister, Dan Dickau. Well, Zags got off to a fast start, opened up the game, and then the Warriors climbed back in, pulled it to within 2, I think. And then the Zags ended the final 5 minutes on a big run.
Yeah, it was 22-20, and we were looking at each other like,
yeah,
whoa, LC State came to play. Well, that's when Ryan Nemhard started to really push the pace and find opportunities for teammates. 9 assists in that first half against 1 turnover. Braden Huff was spectacular off the bench with 11 points. But Graham Ike was terrific in that first half. Exactly what everybody was hoping for as the replacement to Drew Timme, which is not easy, I'm sure, to fill those shoes. But he was great in the first half, 14 points, 6 of 8 from the field to lead the charges for Gonzaga.
Yeah, he didn't show any signs of rust at all. Not having played in over a year, came right in, and his impact was felt really from that opening tip, and then a continued really efficient first half for Graham Ike. But there were a lot of guys that were highly efficient. I mean, when you look at Ryan Nemhard, only finished with those 3 points, but he had 9 assists and 4 rebounds, right? Then you look at a guy like Braden Huff, 9 points. Really good first half. There's Huff, a great catch. And his ability to catch and finish is next level to me.
Well, he's unique in the fact that he's a lefty, so he's a hard scout. And he's a pick and pop guy, but when he catches it on the roll, he does a good job of quickly getting to his scoring opportunities by keeping the ball high. I thought Stromer had some nice stretches in that first half as well, really being active. But all things point to Ryan Nemhart leading the charge for Gonzaga.
And all things point to another Zag team that's going to score 90 points a game this year. We're at the half in Spokane. More to come when we come back. Ready to get the second half. There's Mr. Stockton in attendance tonight, watching his son play for Lewis Clark State. Zags lead at 51-28, second half, straight ahead. I'll let you listen to that for a moment. Don't tell them that this is only an exhibition game. They have waited since March to show their appreciation for Gonzaga basketball, and they've brought it again tonight. We're underway, second half.
It was just an unbelievable atmosphere in Spokane. Sold out the craziness in the kennel scrimmage.
Yeah.
And now it's a exhibition game. 6,000 people are ready to go as the Warriors open with a big three in the corner. Davion Brown, another three, his third on the night.
Yeah, he's got 11 points and a quick trigger. Nolan Hickman, Graham Ike. He'll drive. Anton Watson cleared out of there. Left-hand finish, Ike, the big man.
His resemblance to Zach Randolph is eerie on that low block. Understands how to use his shoulders.
This is Lustig. Throw it off the glass. Nemhart crashing for the rebound.
Lustig, got to give him credit. He's a little banged up, back injury. He's a freshman in our conference this season ago. He would have hoped to have played really well and been 100% coming into this game, seeing that he grew up right down the road in Colfax.
Anton's he's going to flush this one. He's 0 for 5 to start. This won't happen to him. I mean, look, a year ago he was 60.8% from the floor. He's 0 for 5. He hasn't missed 5 straight shots, I bet, his whole career.
Well, I think Anton did such a good job of, over the course of his career, accepting what his role has been each year. Last year, teams rightfully focused so much on Timmy and Strother, gave him opportunities, and he made the most of it. I think there's going to be more scoring opportunities for Anton this year. He's just got to figure out how to be aggressive in those situations.
He has 5 points in 11 minutes, all coming from the free throw line. Deflection out of bounds off of Steele Venters. Steele grew up in Ellensburg, Washington, middle part of the state. Hickman, good defense. Kari Morris with it again. And picking the ball up and finishing is Grayson Hunt. Beating Nemhart to the basketball. Hickman, quick trigger, bang. Nolan Hickman with 7.
Recognize the defense goes under the pick and roll. If you're a guard who can shoot it, that's an automatic stop behind and shoot.
How hard is it to go from a point guard to a 2-guard, Dan?
Well, it really isn't in this setting and in this offensive system of Coach Fuse because, again, it's continuity ball screen. You're going to get opportunities different sides of the floor. It's just as Ike gets another jumper to go over that right shoulder. But back to Hickman, he doesn't have the primary ball handling responsibility to bring the ball up and initiate offense like he did a season ago. I think he's a little better as that secondary ball handler.
It frees him up, and you got to be better off. You got to be better moving without the ball.
Yeah, he a little better moving without the ball, understanding when he catches it on the second side, the defense is coming into rotation as he's getting into pick and rolls. Such a luxury that for any team at any level to have 2 ball handler playmakers like Hickman and Nemhart.
Nice finish there and a whistle. Jaden Bradley, and just to finish up the point, I mean, educate our fans. Is that a natural transition for a guy who's played so much with the ball in his hands to go to a position where now he has to be better at moving without the ball? How natural is that? Depends on the guy, I suppose.
Yeah, well, it depends on the guy, but it also depends on, you know, what style you've played growing up and who you have played with. You know, to me, Hickman has a good feel for the game. His assist-to-turnover ratio was really good a season ago. He's one of those guys that I think can fit in and blend with most any program. I will say this, as Anton gets a nice floater in the pick-and-roll situation, had Hickman decided to do what a lot of college players do in this day and age and go into the transfer portal, he would have been one of the most coveted guards out there.
Yes.
The fact that he stayed, I think, is going to, you know, really benefit him in his career, and it's absolutely going to benefit Gonzaga.
And remember, it wasn't that long ago that Josh Perkins went from point guard to off guard with the arrival of Nigel Williams-Goss. He made that transition beautifully, and it was a great team thing that he did. Ben Gregg missed the three, poked out by Anton. Anton fires a three, that's short. Gregg, the over the back rebound. Now Nolan thought about the three. He'll shoot another. That one's a little long. Shot looked good. First one a little short, second one a little long. Next one he makes.
Just split the difference.
That's right. Nolan Hickman bounced.
Nice
Steal.
pass.
Venters. Oh, he missed the dunk. Hickman got it back. Finish is good. Tell you what, Steele Venters showed a little athleticism on that break. Got up there.
Little, but not enough to get the finish.
Nembhard. Here's Venters. That three's long. Timeout on the floor. I don't think Anton agrees with the call. 63-37, 15:29 to play in Spokane. Non-stop local KHQ and SWX 1 week from tonight. November 10th as these 11th-ranked Gonzaga Bulldogs kick off the regular season when the Yale Bulldogs visit the Kennel. Tip-off is set for 6. It's Zags basketball live next Friday night on nonstop local KHQ and SWX, your home for local sports. Gonzaga's upcoming schedule brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, your financial success fan club. We know Yale's coming up, then Eastern Oregon, and then it gets fun, huh, Dan?
The Maui Invitational, unfortunately, due to the wildfire in Lahaina, will be played in Honolulu this year, but maybe the best tournament field ever for that Maui Invitational. Purdue, Zach Edey, we all know what he did last year. He's the preseason player of the year in most publications. Tennessee under Rick Barnes is unbelievably good. That USC game is going to be solid. But I think a lot of people are looking to both that UConn and San Diego State game. That shows you Gonzaga's not worried about scheduling anybody. Those two teams were in the national title game a season ago.
Yeah. Throwing UConn. It's impressive. 10 on the shot clock. And there's the bump and a foul called on Anton Watson. Watson picks up his second personal. That's 3 on GU this half, 8 for the game.
Krajinovic getting some early minutes here in this second half.
He's going to be a star here, Dan.
I think he's going to be a great player. Played at a high level in Europe, in his home country of Croatia. Had a chance to talk to him early this fall. A huge Drazen Petrovic fan, as am I, having been a Portland Trailblazer fan growing up. You don't know anything about Petrovic, do you there, Mr.
Well,
Heister?
Then it was the 80s. Nolan Hickman. I do know about him. Untimely death. He'd have been a great player.
Yeah. He was stuck behind Clyde Drexler before he got traded to the New Jersey Nets, where he became an all-star.
Anton Watson going back to the free throw line. I love this guy. I think as the years go on, we're going to learn to appreciate loyalty more and more every season because I think it's going to become more and more rare.
Especially with NIL at the college level.
Yes.
And league realignment as far as how institutions and athletic programs go. But yes, the loyalty is not what it once was at this level.
Trust me on this, Anton could have gone elsewhere and who knows, made more money. I don't know that for sure, but I know he was offered good money to leave. Instead chose to come back to Gonzaga, play in front of his family another year, and to play in front of these fans. And really, Dan, a chance to put his name up on the list of the greats in this program's history, like legacy, leave a real legacy here.
Well, he should be top 5 all-time in wins or being a part of a win at Gonzaga. He has an outside chance to get to the top 3 if Gonzaga has a very good season. Shemek Karnowski and Josh Perkins hold the top 2 spots.
Yeah, they may never be touched. Vranovich, boy, look at the power there and the balance to get to the rim. Missed the shot, though. Back come the Warriors. Transition 3, great arc on that shot, but off by Raynor. Offensive rebound, another chance. Ben Gregg working on defense, foul called. And I believe that's on Ben Gregg. So Ben Gregg picks up number 2. It's 4 on GU this half. Stockton trying to get it in, and does. Braden Huff, number 34, back on the floor for GU. Couldn't get to the rebound. There's Dusty Stromer. Hickman. They're really good in transition, Dan. They're really good.
I mean,
I'd tell you, they were practicing that at practice the other night. I was like, okay, that's next level. It was zip, 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 bang, lay in.
They have the luxury of a 3 like Stromer, able to push and make decisions in transition.
Fans back in it. That shot way off. Anthony Peoples wanted a foul.
Yeah, that was great defense from Ben Gregg. Understanding Peoples was trying to back down to his spot. Take the contact in your chest. Don't give him an angle.
Gregg the drive, loops in, missed it. Rebound cleared by Alton Hamilton. Freshman from Fontana, California, 6'8", 235. Peoples the handoff to Quentin Raynor. And another foul called on Ben Gregg. That's his 3rd. And here comes our first look at Jun Suk Yo. Jun, 6'8", 215-pounder from Seoul, South Korea. A sophomore, you can tell he's going to be a fan favorite. Got some skill, too. Oh, big-time 3. Quentin Raynor from the corner.
Yeah, Jun has tremendous upside. Is athletic, strong as a wing. Led the FIBA U19s a couple of years ago in scoring, which is kind of where he broke out on the college radars of a lot of staffs with their recruiting. Went head-to-head against Chet Holmgren and Team USA and played really well.
Attended the NBA Global Academy in Australia. Here's Hickman. Nolan probing. He'll shoot it. Back come the Warriors. There's Jun. Nice job to shut the ball down. Jump shot from the elbow was off by Javon Jones. Gonzaga ball, foul called on Peoples. 11:53 to play. Gonzaga up 66-40, shooting 49% for the game. Graham Ike may be done for the day. Basketball lost a legend this week. The great Bob Knight died at the age of 83. Played at Ohio State. Won a national championship as a player, 3 as a head coach at Indiana. Of course, Coach Mike Krzyzewski Coached at Indiana from 71 to 2001, those 3 NC2A championships, 5 Final Fours. Finished his career at Texas Tech. One of the most controversial coaches, I think, in the history of sport. But those who knew him, those who played for him, they all speak highly of Bob Knight.
Well, he's one of the best teachers of the game of basketball. I never had a chance to compete against one of his coach teams, but a number of people that I know well either played for him or against him, and they said their practices were unbelievable. What you would learn from him in practice was crazy.
I shouldn't say all the players spoke highly of him. Many of them did. I was actually at that game, Texas Tech, when he got that Red Raiders team to the tournament. It's Ronny Turioff's final game. Zags were up, I think, by 8 or 9 points at the half, and I actually bought a plane ticket to go to the next round, only to have Texas Tech come back and win the game. But, Dan, it cemented to me how hard the NCAA tournament is and how we take this for granted. That was like the first time in, I think, 15 years that Bob Knight had gotten to a Sweet 16 with that victory against Gonzaga that day. And we've been to 8 straight now. Like, we take it for granted how hard it is.
The fan base here is absolutely spoiled, and it's awesome when you hear the ones who are overly appreciative of what has transpired here in Spokane, because it's hard to get to the tournament, let alone to advance. Gonzaga's won the first round game 14 straight years now. They've gotten to the Elite 8, 5 of the last 8 in the Sweet 16, the last 8. Those numbers are mind-boggling. I mean, there are very few programs that have done anything like Gonzaga has done over the last few years.
Well, only 4 programs ever have gotten to the Sweet 16 8 straight years. UCLA, Duke, North Carolina, and Gonzaga.
Wow.
So when you came here all those years ago, did you ever think that Gonzaga would be mentioned in the same breath as UCLA, Duke, and North Carolina?
I mean, all of us former players who were in it at the time would have hoped so, but to be honest, you know,
it's crazy.
The way that this program has continued to elevate is unbelievable.
Stromer a little hard on that shot. Wishes he had that one back, I guarantee. Drive to the bucket. Stromer got a hand on it. June the rebound, and then Nembhard directing traffic. Left that short, got it back. Now fall away. Jump shot won't go. Stromer crashing the board. Krajinovic, plenty of time, 15 on the shot clock. Graham Ike.
That's the 4th offensive rebound from Stromer. He's just been opportunistic.
Ike, he is so patient and so calm and just kind of moves the furniture around where he needs it, right? Just kind of, let's put this chair over there.
Move the furniture around.
Move the couch over there, and I'm going to lay this in. Good contest at the rim. Foul called on Jun Yo. Jun's a big kid, 6'8", 215. Seems like everybody's 6'8" nowadays. At least here. And around we go. Grayson Hunt from Pullman, Washington. Grayson 6'6", 225. Sure his family's in attendance tonight. And he hits them both. Tell you what, Lewis Clark State's got some size, Dan. Like this team, I think is going to win a bunch of games.
Well, they're in one of the better NAIA conferences across the country, the Cascade. The national title winner from a season ago, College of Southern Idaho, is in their league. So they'll be tested, but Austin Johnson talked to him earlier this week as EK gets another easy bucket underneath. He said the expectation is to challenge for league championships. A season ago they had injuries, it didn't work out that way, but he likes what they've got this year. If they can stay healthy, he thinks they got a chance to be really good at their level.
Hey, Graham Ike, Dan, 22 points, 10 of 12, 6 rebounds.
Drew Timmy who?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Mean,
like
it's just efficient.
It's as efficient as Drew. They same position as Drew. They just score it differently.
Yeah.
Still miss Drew.
Oh, Drew's an all-timer. I mean, he may be the greatest of all time to come through Gonzaga. Unfortunately for him, he was waived by the Milwaukee Bucks, but he did sign with their G League affiliate. So best of luck to Drew as he embarks on his professional career.
Well, the crowd's still in it as Lorenzo Marsh hits the front end. We're nearing the 9-minute mark here. Just an exhibition game tonight. You think Coach Few's getting out of this tonight? What do you hope?
Oh, without a doubt. There's been some really good stretches by a lot of different guys. There's also been some stretches where defensively they've gotten lost. Davian Brown has gotten free, been able to create some knock down some threes from the perimeter. But it's nice for the guys to play against somebody else. In no time at all, they're going to be preparing for number 3 Purdue and Zach Edey. So you got to get film going against somebody else so that coaches can constructively criticize and get you ready to go.
Graham Ike. Ben, he looks to score every trip down.
He makes the game easy on himself. He'll set a good screen and he'll roll to the right area. That time, instead of rolling to the front of the rim where the defense was, it was a short roll right to the dotted line. Make it easy on yourself.
Trying to dig out the rebound, came out to Ben Gregg. Stromer. Ben Gregg. A lot of contact in there. Just the 5th turnover of the game for Gonzaga. Gregg got a hand on that shot. Ike will walk it up. Luka Krajinovic from Zagreb, Croatia. Way off on that 3. But Luka from Zagreb, Croatia. He was destined to be a Zag.
I think it's Zagreb, but
you can see it however you want to see it.
I see the Zag.
I see Zagreb, Croatia.
I love it. I love it.
Back in a moment. Brought to you by Primera, proud partner of the Gonzaga basketball program. Talking defense, Dano, which I always love it when you get to comment on this.
Well, I think this team's defensively going to be different than some teams in the past. The one with Rui and Brandon Clark a few years back was elite contesting at the rim. The one with Chet Holmgren was similar. I don't know if they've got a true rim protector shot blocker on the interior, but I think with the way Gonzaga teaches contesting hands up, challenge vertically, they've got a chance to really drive the opponent's field goal percentage down.
Well, they ought to be physical enough in there to keep a post up another foot or 2 away from the rim than where they want to be, right?
Yeah, that's a big part of it. Push the catches out on the floor and don't give in to post-ups where the offense wants to set up shop.
All right, so next question. Jump shot goes by Peoples. Gonzaga's not been picked to win the West Coast Conference. St. Mary's has been. So you've seen a little bit now of this Zag team. They got it wrong or they got it right?
Well, I mean, St. Mary's is an unbelievably good program. As Ben Gregg gets a chance to the three-point play. St. Mary's is unbelievably good. They are a top 25 team. Gonzaga is, to me, after seeing them in person a few times at practice and now tonight, they're top 10-ish good. They're about where they should be, I think, with the AP rankings to start the season. But the fact is, you lose Drew Timme, you lose Julian Strother, you lose Malachi Smith, Rajir Bolton. You lose 70-80% of your scoring punch. That's what I'm sure a lot of the coaches were thinking when they said St. Mary's is the favorite to win the league, because they have a lot of talent back. Aiden Mahaney, Alex Dukas decided to come back, Mitchell Saxon, really good players. But the additions Gonzaga has made, Nembhard, Venters, and in particular Ike, I think should have given Gonzaga the nudge.
Yeah, I just think it's, you know, no disrespect to Randy Bennett. He's done a great job down there, but I just think the West Coast Conference is tired of Gonzaga because they've lost a lot of their offense in years past and then still won the championship. And this has been a long time running. And Dan, they got Ryan Nembhard for crying out loud. He makes everybody on the floor better. right? Like
Nemhart and Ike individually were both probably top 10 of transfers in all of college basketball. I think probably the one that can easily be classified as the top transfer would be Hunter Dickinson going from Michigan to Kansas. But after that, you could have a argument for either one of these two being a perfect transfer for Gonzaga because, one, they're talented, but two, they fit needs for Gonzaga's program.
Yeah. There's a great catch. How about that ceiling catch by Huff? He's impressive to me, Dan. Like, he might be old school, but he's impressive. Those hands are soft and he can finish.
Lefties always have an advantage on that low block. And that's the interesting thing. We haven't touched on it. Gonzaga's two scoring bigs. I think Ben Versatile's extremely versatile, but their scoring bigs are both left-handers, Ike and Huff. Nice split from Stockton.
Peoples goes for the jam. No foul, but got the miss back and then hammered it in. 79-50. Well, a lot of basketball to be played. It'll be fun to watch this year. I know St. Mary's will be good. There's no doubt. They always are. Randy Bennett's a great coach.
I think San Francisco's got a chance to be really good as well. They lost Shabazz, but they picked up a lot in the transfer portal as well.
There's a block by Greg. Off Stromer, nice catch in traffic. Left hand goes. Stromer looked like a slot receiver going over the middle in the catch on that pass.
Yeah, how are your Steelers doing this year?
Hey,
surprised you haven't brought that up.
They're 5-3. They're hanging in there. Big win last night. I think it's a little fool's gold, though, myself.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I know. I know, Dan. Quentin Raynor. Colby Brooks, Joe Few checking in. Mark Few going to the bench with 5:32 to play. Zags up by, what is that, 29, 81-52. Huff to Stromer, great catch. Left hand in transition. Stromer with 8. Back in a moment. Tonight as the Zag women hit the road to battle the Montana Grizzlies in a non-conference clash. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. Pacific time. Gonzaga women's basketball live this Monday night only on SWX, your home for local sports. And then I think the men's game follows that up. No, I'm confused. Different day.
Gonzaga's got an interesting non-conference in the fact that the college basketball season starts on November 6th. They don't play until the 10th.
Yes,
that's
true.
They tried. They just couldn't find a scheduling partner for an opponent that made sense.
Oh, look at that spin to the base. People slapped it out of there. Tell you what, Braden Huff has made Coach Few a believer. He's earning minutes, Dan.
I would agree. He's earning minutes. He's doing what he has to do as a young player to force his way into minutes. And that's all you can ask for as a young player is to get minutes. I mean,
but he defends, he blocks some shots, he can rebound, and he can shoot free throws, and he can finish. Like, he's an all-around big.
Well, Drew Timme's had the quote a season ago, he's the most annoying redshirt I've ever seen. He's annoying to guard. He's annoying to have him guard you. He does so many little things well.
We're going to like Braden Huff. Holy smokes. "13 points tonight, but he led the team in the scrimmage. During craziness in the kennel, I think he finished with 16 points in that game. But he's really active on both ends. I don't see him taking plays off. His head's in it. Seems instinctual. Under 5 to go. Speaking of instinctual, here's a Stockton. Colby Brooks, number 25 on the floor, along with Joe Few. Huff lines up the 3. That one's long. Long rebound. Braden runs it down. Grinovich to the post. Huff tipped it to himself. Back to Grinovich. That's short. Corner three rims out. Running the floor. Colby Brooks, redshirt junior from Los Angeles. Dan's mic is malfunctioned. We'll get it fixed here in a moment.
Would you like me to comment on Colby's
yes
layup in transition?
Actually, I would. Anthony Peoples Jr. a little off.
I'll give you a little insight. His nickname is Rock.
Okay, well,
there you go.
Thanks for that little nugget.
Yes.
You can go back to bed there.
Yes.
Krajinovic. Drive, left it for Huff. There's a great feed.
The soft hands with the left.
And Luka with a great pass. Braden Huff. Liking you, my man. 87-52. 3:39 to play. Back in a moment. There are a number of times over the years, both in the regular season and exhibitions, Gonzaga has yet to lose to Lewis Clarkston, including in this exhibition game, November 2005. Zags beat the Warriors 83-31. Larry Gerganius led the way for G with 16 points. Larry G, as I call him. That evening, while J.P. Batista had a near double-double, 15 and 8, Mo and Ravs each added 11 points back on November 5, 2005.
Some big-time players in that game. Morrison, Ravio,
Juan Paul,
Batista,
there's
Jeremy
Mo.
Pargo.
Mo is nodding off, too. It must be contagious with the analysts tonight.
Yeah, well, he's getting his thoughts together for our podcast that we record every Monday.
There you go. And where do we find the podcast, Dan?
Gonzaga Nation. We'll have Derek Ravio actually on in the next week or so as a guest.
That shot a little hard from Junio.
You've been a guest.
Yeah,
it's yet to be released.
It's actually great.
We have
fun.
to edit it down because of you as a guest, but
how long
it's
was
coming.
it? We were in there. We just wouldn't leave.
Yeah. Well,
I thought it's like the internet. Can't you just let it all go? Or
we are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll be releasing a number of shows and podcasts throughout the season with a number of guests.
I don't want you doing what the rest of the media does and just cutting sound bites up.
That's part of it, but we also look releasing them in our long form. We've had conversations with each of the players on the team as well. It'll be coming out soon in a partnership with the Zags Collective. So lots of good stuff coming out with Gonzaga Nation.
And again, where do you find all that stuff at, Dano?
Online, Gonzaga Nation.
.com?
Yes.
GonzagaNation.com. Is there a place there to help the collective?
Yes, there's information to sign up for the collective to get the additional access to some of the insider content that will be produced with the players themselves.
Kind of become part of the team. I like the idea. That ball's kicked. Gonzaga ball.
Well, it's a new age of college athletics, and collectives have popped up at most universities across the country to kind of bridge that gap between businesses and the student athletes to provide opportunities to pay them for the NIL. But a lot of times the student athletes, also want to get connected to the business world for their future endeavors too.
Foul on Joe Few. How much money would you have made back in the day if there was NIL?
I have no idea.
Well, you were pretty famous that year.
Yeah,
right?
but
like
it slowly built, especially my senior year, right? Up until the current boom of NIL for college athletes they could make money, there were only a few players, I think, that would have made a fair chunk of money. Adam Morrison, probably Kelly Olynyk because he was an All-American, in his uniqueness. Rui Hachimura obviously would have been one. I think it's long overdue, NIL is. It's just, it's still, I think it's going to take a couple years to kind of flush out and figure out exactly what players' value is to businesses in their respective communities.
It's a wild, wild west right now.
It is.
Krajinovic, Huff,
man,
little two-man game. How good is that? Even Krajinovic got to a spot and a perfect bounce.
Well, Krajinovic, we haven't talked much about him, but for a secondary ball handler, got great size. He's patient to make his read. And then, as shown on that last one, the delivery has been impeccable a number of times.
And he defends, Dan. He's a relentless defender. I like that.
Well, another international player. You know, many people thought the recruiting circles for Gonzaga overseas were going to dry up when Tommy Lloyd went to Arizona.
Not so fast.
It hasn't been the case. You look at June, Krajinovic.
Well, even Ryan Nemhart's from Canada.
Yeah. There's another freshman on the roster that hasn't got in the game today from Serbia, Pavle Stozic. It's an international game these days, Greg.
Yes, it is. And even in the NBA, the way that's trending, isn't it like 40% of the players now are international in that league?
Number is very close to that, yeah. I mean, talk about, you know, if you're a Gonzaga fan, you've got to be an NBA fan now. There's 11 former Zags in the NBA.
Yeah,
I think it's the college with the 5th most alums in the NBA. And I mean, I'm pulling for Chet Holmgren to win Rookie of the Year, but there's a guy in San Antonio from France, Victor Wembanyama, that is absolutely amazing at 7'4".
Could be a good battle for that award. And hopefully it's going to be a good battle between those two years on down the road if they can get into the playoffs and compete against one another. Nice play defensively to get back and strip it was Jayceon Smith.
Yeah, that would be a great long-term rivalry if it were developed. You know, gone are the days like Magic and Bird where organically these rivalries grow. I think too many times professional sports try to manufacture rivalries and different things to look for and watch, but if that grows into a rivalry, that will be a ton of fun.
Warriors still playing hard. Shot up for 3 is good. It's 93-56. Graham Ike is out of the game, led Gonzaga with 24.7 rebounds, but 11 of 13 from the floor. Braden Huff contributed with 21. It's 8 of 11 from the floor, 9 rebounds. And there's your guy, Dano. Pavle Stozic, the freshman from Serbia, 6'9", 215, showing some range. So how about that? We lose Drew Timme, and yet Gonzaga's led tonight by 2 bigs.
Two efficient
and Anton
bigs.
Watson's not one of them.
Yeah, Ike and Huff both with tremendous performances in the exhibition game.
96-58 is going to be our final. And the season officially underway now. Zags will get a few more practices in before they open next week against Yale. But you said that you think Coach Few got out of this what he needed to tonight. I have to agree. Lewis Clark State, I think, gave him a test at moments in that game and forced Gonzaga to do things well.
Without a doubt, Gonzaga jumped out quick, 10-0, but LC State gave them a battle. They were down 22-20, and then Gonzaga kind of put the screws at the end of the first half and kind of distanced themselves a little bit. But you could tell, gone is Drew Timme, Julian Strother, and others, but not the efficiency in the way that Gonzaga wants to play. They want to play fast. They want to play high-low. They want to get opportunities on the low block. And why wouldn't you with Graham Ike and Braden Huff, who's exploding onto the scene as well?
Yeah, so efficient. I mean, Huff was 8 of 11. Ike was 11 of 13. As a team, they finished 38 of 78, 48.7%. This is an interesting lineup. It's going to be really fun to watch it develop. And I was impressed tonight with the cohesion that already seems to be there, especially when the team's in transition. Like it is slick.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with the transfers that they bring over. Nemhart, Ike, and Venters. they're experienced players. They've played at a high level. They've done a lot of good things. And so there's going to be some challenges, but it's also going to look seamless at times because they're so skilled and so experienced.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. We've got more, including an interview coming your way. So come on back for that. I think Graham Ike is up next. We'll be back in a moment. The game presented by A to Z Rental. No job is too big or too small. With 8 convenient locations, we rent everything. Let A to Z Rental be your most valuable player. And it is Graham Ike. 24 points, 11 of 13 from the floor, 7 rebounds. Efficient, powerful. I would imagine for you, Graham, welcome. It was just great to be out there again, right?
Yes,
you missed a whole year. So talk about this build-up for you, and finally you get to go again.
Yeah, you know, it's been a long year. Just trying to get back, you know, working hard with my body, my mindset, just getting back into the groove of things. And these guys just make it so easy, Coach Few and the whole staff, you know what I mean? So very appreciative of them, and just glad to be back out on that floor, man.
Well, you look like you were glad to be back. It looked like you weren't missing any time at all from a season ago. What, 24 points, 11 of 13 from the field. You made it look easy. How did you do that?
I really just say my teammates, man. In the system that we got, you know, just the things that we've been running in practice, they're looking for me, just making the right plays out there, and I appreciate them for that. Yeah.
Graham, you had options. Why GU? Why Spokane? Why this program now?
The family-oriented environment, man. Like on my visit, it was a couple past players that went here that are no longer on the team that came back. And I just saw like how family-oriented everything was, and I was just like, this is something I want to be a part of. Like on the visit, I committed.
And can you share who those players were?
Andrew Nemhart.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And I was like, the NBA season had just ended, and he was just in Spokane, and I was like, yeah, that's the kind of thing I want to be a part of. Guys coming back and just, you know, sharing the knowledge in their time.
Speaking of the Nemhart
Yes.
family, your point guard is his brother, Ryan.
Yeah.
And you guys seem to have developed a pretty nice connection in no time at all.
Yeah, he's great.
How is it to play with a point guard who always has his head up, looking to create for others and make the game easy for you?
Man, it's wonderful, you know, just because he makes the game so easy with his pace, the way he's pushing it, the way he can score it, the way he can pass it. Like, he just sees things out there that just makes the game so easy for me and the whole team, and I'm just appreciative of him. And, yeah, he was actually on my visit as well, and he made the decision easy also.
And so was there, if you come, I'll come? Were those conversations? How did that go down?
We had some messages back and forth, like, what are you thinking, you know, like, just let me know. And then one day he was just like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And he was like, yeah, we're in. We're locked. And that was it.
Well, you played it for Wyoming. You guys made the NCAA tournament 2 years ago. Gonzaga is known for deep runs in the NCAA tournament. The gauntlet of a schedule starts in about a week and a half. You guys will be in Maui. Was that part of wanting to come to Gonzaga, have the challenge of making another deep run as well as playing that great non-conference schedule?
Definitely. Be a part of this winning culture and play such great teams early on is definitely something that I wanted to be a part of. You know, just iron sharpens iron at the end of the day. And just the way this team wins and the culture around it, like, that's just what I want to be surrounded with. It's great, man. I'm loving it.
And Graham, talk about, I mean, you guys are preseason number 11. You got a 4-man rotation in the bigs. You've got a lot of rotations in the guards. Like, this team is deep.
It's a lot of depth.
We saw the talent, and it seems like the chemistry is already coming.
Definitely.
Are you sensing that?
Yes.
And was it right away, or has it just been the slog through practice that has gotten you here?
I think, like, since I stepped on campus in June, like, you could just sense it with the feel of the team. Like, everybody just wants everybody to succeed here. And we all have a great time and enjoy the work that we do in this whole process. And definitely practice makes it easier because everybody's so good. And it's just, once again, iron sharpening iron. And we all just getting better every single day, and that's what we're about.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Graham.
it. Thank
Appreciate
you guys.
your time.
Yes, sir.
Good luck this season. Graham Ike, ladies and gentlemen, our A to Z rental player of the game tonight. 24 points, 11 of 13, and all those rebounds. Well, Dano, we got to see the Zags in action.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
After another deep NCAA tournament run, people were curious what this program, this team was going to look like without Drew Timme. I think tonight we saw quite a few answers, namely Graham Ike is pretty darn good.
Oh, man. And we're going to take another timeout. It's more Greg and Dan when we come back. The Greg and Dan Show live from the McCarthy Athletic Center. System, whether you're at home or in the Kennel Multicare's team of doctors, nurses, and specialists partner with you all season long. And it's nothing new that Gonzaga has incredible players in transition. This team's going to be that as well. Like we see in the half court with Huff and Graham, EK, and Anton Watson, but I think they're going to be special when we get out and run.
Well, this team has led the country in scoring the last 5 years, and I don't think Coach Few ever wants to play the game slow. Maybe in the last couple of years, the thought would have been let's play a little slower because you had such a dominant low post player in Drew Timme. You look at the build-up and the makeup of this roster, and you're like, they have to play fast because all the perimeter players and Nemhart pushing the pace. But then you look at it, you slow it down, you post up, you create opportunities in mismatches with EK and Huff. Granted, it's against a small sample size and a smaller team in LC State, but it shows you the versatility this offense has again this year, and it's going to be a juggernaut on the offensive end.
Yeah, I think so too, and obviously it's these bigs that can run for Gonzaga. Anton Watson can run, Ben Gregg can run. You saw Graham, EK able to establish position in transition, and then Braden Huff, he had a 3 tonight. Like, it's a versatile core of bigs that Gonzaga has, and they're all athletic.
Well, I think the most unique part of the front court rotation, and it's looking like it's going to be a 4-big rotation. Anton Watson may at times occasionally slide to the 3. They're all different.
Yeah.
You know, I think when you look at EK, dominant low post scorer with his left hand. Huff can do that because he's lefty, but he's more of a pick and pop and attack on the offensive glass guy. Ben Gregg, he didn't show the ability to shoot from the perimeter tonight, but he was close to 38% from 3 a season ago, so he's going to stretch the floor. And then Anton was maybe as versatile a player on the western side of the United States last year at the college level.
Well, it was fun tonight. Steel Venters is going to have an impact this year. 6'7", former Big Sky Player of the Year, can shoot it. There's Graham Ike, broad shoulders, and man, he just brought great intensity tonight. You saw in the interview, he's eager to play and prove tonight. It's going to be another fun year in Zaggville, ladies and gentlemen. Gonzaga, 96-58 winners, and remember, ranked number 11 in the country. That's 134 consecutive weeks now in the top 25. The second place team, the University of Houston, 65 consecutive weeks. And that'll do it for tonight. For Dan Dickow, I'm Greg Heister. We'll see you next week when the Zags open it for real against Yale. Have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen.